Mickayla Rush. Welcome to Jits and Giggles podcast.
I am so excited to be here. I've been listening for like months now.
Really?
Like I have to drive so far to see my boyfriend like every weekend, so it's like my go-to. Like,
Aw, that makes
I'm
me so
watching
happy.
it.
That makes me so happy. Is there a certain episode that you liked out of all of them?
So I started listening because Sydney was on.
Oh, okay.
And I met her at my gym, and I was like,
she's
oh,
the
this is
best.
awesome.
She's so cool.
So,
That was a good episode. Her
It
and
was,
Kelly.
yes.
Yeah, they were like super informative. I learned a lot about science that
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, she's awesome. And now, did you see that she's going to be on the Invitational?
I did, yes.
Yeah, which so well deserved. She's a little freaking beast. But for those who are listening that don't know Mickayla, so we met. It was at the Web Open Met. Is that what it was? Yeah. So you came out to me. We talked a little bit about the podcast, and then Mickayla reached out to me because you have like an interesting like jujitsu kind of like background story or deal.
Kind of how I got into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Craziness.
So how long have you been training?
So I started April of 2022. I was just about to graduate college.
Right.
And I had a boyfriend at the time.
Right.
Who was like, hey, I train. Let me get you in the gym.
Right.
So I was like, all right, sure. Like,
yeah.
let's just go into it.
Yeah.
And I started, and I never stopped.
You just loved it.
Loved
Was
it.
he an upper belt at the time then?
He was a purple belt at the time.
So he's seasoned.
He might still be a purple. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't talk to him anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, he brought me in. He did advanced class that night, and I was like, all right, I'll do like the normal class without you. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it by myself.
Yeah. How long were you guys dating at this point?
I want to say like maybe like 6 months ish,
okay.
like
So
very
it's
fresh.
Still pretty new, and
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, you like this hobby. Let me see if
Exactly.
it's something we could do together.
Yes.
And you caught the bug. It sounds like
I did. Oh my god, I trained like for the first like 4 or 5 months of doing jiu-jitsu. I was there 7 days a week.
Oh wow,
like,
you really
2
liked
times
it.
a day.
Yeah.
Like I went in and never stopped.
So it wasn't even at that point. It wasn't about like, doing it to create a bond with him. You just truly loved it.
I was like,
for
this
yourself.
is for me now.
Yeah, right. Now, can you say what gym it was? You don't have to.
Yeah, probably not.
Was it was like somewhere in the tri-state area?
Yeah, it was very close to my house.
Okay. So you were training there. Did you meet like a good group of girls there?
So my first class ever, there was like 5 or 6 girls. And I was like, awesome.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Went the next day, none of them were there.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. And was that, as time went on, there was not many girls?
Yeah, it kind of just started to
weird.
dwindle until it was like me being the only girl.
So who was like was your boyfriend at the time your main training partner?
Yes and no. There was, it's funny, there was one, like, I think she was like 13 at the time.
Oh, okay.
And she would whoop my
I was gonna
butt,
say,
like,
that doesn't
every
even
day.
matter, yeah.
Like, I think she's like an orange belt now.
Oh,
so like
shoot.
she's been like doing it for a while. And she was just whooping my butt like every day. And I was like, well, okay.
You have no idea how many people have told me they've been like had their ass kicked by teenagers
Yes.
or literal children. Like 12-year-olds.
Yes.
Age doesn't mean anything if you've been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely.
And kids grow like weeds at that age, and they're the same size as adults.
It's absolutely, like, the way she was training and like her best friend were training, who was like, he's a guy who's like wrestling like one of the best in the state.
Oh shoot, yeah.
So like I rolled with this like 14-year-old kid, and he heel hooked me.
Oh my
like
God.
I was a fresh white belt, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
don't expect that with a little kid. You're like, oh, I'm good. No.
Yeah, I was like, please don't touch my feet ever again.
Oh my God. So how long would you say you were at that gym?
So it's funny. So I started in April, and I got my blue belt from them in November.
Okay.
So like it was not long at all.
Yeah, that's quick.
I got my blue belt. We broke up like a week before I got my blue belt.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, I'm gonna give it to you. Like, I have to be the one. And I was like, okay.
After you broke up, he still felt that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Is
then-
that what happened?
It is. Because at first he was like, I don't want you at the gym anymore.
Oh.
And I was like,
That's not
well,
fair.
I'm going. Because I was
Yeah.
like, you don't have a say anymore.
Yeah.
I've been going for this long. Yada yada.
Was it a bad breakup? Like,
No, I
little
think he was kind of
mutual?
just like,
bitter?
I broke up with him, and he was just really bitter about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, well, I was like, I'm gonna keep training.
Yeah.
He gave me my blue belt, and then I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, it was like a weird environment kind of thing.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be a blue belt statistic. I was like, I got it. Now I'm leaving.
quitting.
I'm done.
No.
Yeah.
So obviously that didn't happen.
It didn't.
So what happened?
Yeah. So I moved and I was driving to work every day and I saw a gym and I was like, jiu-jitsu. I did that.
Yeah.
So it was Valentine's Day and I walked in and I was like, I'm going to start class tomorrow. Hi.
Nice.
And the gym, it was at Strive, which is in Voorhees in New Jersey. And they open arms welcomed me and it was fantastic. And then I trained there for about a year and then I moved back home because I was like, I'm poor. I need to go back.
Don't live anywhere near that area, right?
No.
Yeah, you're pretty far.
Yeah.
So now where are you at?
So I'm at Place of Peace right now.
Oh, right. I did know that, yeah.
I love it there.
Yeah.
They are a fantastic group of guys. Can't say anything better about them.
Yeah. I've trained at Place of Peace when Illuminati used to be there.
Okay.
And I was with Craig when we were out in Vegas. I actually am trying to get Craig on the podcast. And he said yes, it's just timing is you know, his schedule's crazy, my schedule's crazy. But I think that'd be a fun episode,
definitely.
They're doing a lot of really cool things.
Yeah, we just had our invitational 2 weeks ago that I competed in and it was a great time. It really was.
Yeah, we had a few people from because I'm between I'm mainly at Freedom, but then I cross train at Webb.
Right.
And all the girls, most of the girls I know were at Webb. And so we had I know Jamar was on Place of Peace. We had Steve Joachim. Was Amanda Mazza?
She did. She did compete. Yeah.
Yeah. There was quite a bit of us.
Yeah.
So how did you end up doing? Who did you go against?
I went against a girl named Rachel.
Okay.
Got my ass handed to me.
No.
She does this one move. What's it called? A tornado, hurricane, where she violently shakes her legs in an armbar.
Oh.
I have
this.
I have to show you the video.
This is crazy.
It was intense.
Really? Is it from standing she hits it or?
So I think she hits it whenever she has an armbar and someone's really locked up, she'll just violently shake and
what?
To let them release their grip.
No way. I have to see this. And she's kind of known for this?
Yeah, it's one of her main highlight things. And I was expecting it.
So you knew going in.
And then it happened and I was no.
It's her thing.
Yeah.
It's okay. It was still a big exposure for you to go out
it was.
there. Just do it. I'm terrified.
I was the first match too of the day.
Oh my God, yeah, it's scary.
All right, let's go.
Was that your first super fight or have you done
Yes, that was my first super fight. I've competed 3 other times. I did one as a white belt. I got second in it, so I was like, you know what, this is good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I got my 1 white belt out of the way. Yeah. Not gonna compete again.
Right.
And then I got my blue belt, and then I didn't compete. But my boyfriend now is a heavy competitor.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, start to get more involved.
Yes.
Who is your boyfriend? Do I know?
His name is Christian. He lives down by the shore.
Okay, super.
So he cross trains at 609.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Jeff Lentz's gym.
Oh, okay. So I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
So you guys, do you train when you go down there too?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you get to cross train down there. So backing up a minute, so your ex-boyfriend, he basically was like, you can't train,
Yep.
I don't want you at my gym. And so at the time you felt awkward because I'm sure, he was a coach?
He was, yeah.
So, and that's also awkward because he's very involved.
Yep.
And you probably felt weird. So unfortunately, not fair, but you ended up leaving.
Yeah.
Pretty shitty. But luckily, it sounds like you found a new home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Definitely.
Would you have done anything differently if you can go back in time?
Probably not. Well, I got really close with a lot of people at my first gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, if I knew I was leaving, I probably wouldn't have gotten as close to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, I'm still friends with a lot of them.
Oh, that's good.
And, they support me, through my jiu-jitsu stuff. So,
yeah.
That's always good.
Are you a black belt on the mats, but a white belt around your house? No problem. Independence Interior Systems is here to save the day. They remodel bathrooms, kitchens, basements, floors. They fix and install electric, plumbing, and so much more. Don't tap out on DIY projects. Let Independence Interior Systems free up your time to let you focus on the black belt you're meant to be. Call 856-230-5987 for a free estimate. If you're in the South Jersey area, that's 856-230-5987.
But, yeah.
It worked out.
It did. It really did.
When you first quit, were you like, I'm never dating a guy in jiu-jitsu again?
Oh, 100%.
Did you have that mindset?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's hard.
It is.
But now your boyfriend now does jiu-jitsu.
Yes, I have a thing for purple belts apparently.
Okay. This time a different gym.
Yes, different gym.
Yeah.
We train together like sometimes, so it's not like all the time I see him at the gym.
Yeah. You have your own thing. He is.
Exactly.
Did you meet at a gym?
So it's funny. So we went to high school together.
Oh, okay.
And then like never talked.
That's so funny.
And then like we met like out at a like it was like a bar kind of thing. And I was like, oh, I kind of know you.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, like, don't you train? I was like, I do. And then from there, we just started talking.
Yeah. I feel like that's ideal situation. Like, you guys have your own, like, thing. Yeah. But you get to still, like, train
exactly,
together.
yeah.
It is hard when you go. I mean, plenty of people do it. But unfortunately, if it doesn't work out, it's freaking awkward.
It's awful.
Do you ever have to run into the ex-boyfriend?
No. He'll, like, text me sometimes. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So you're not, it sounds like you're cordial enough. Like, you're not enemies.
Not enemies, but definitely, like.
You want nothing to do with it.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I don't blame you because that's, like, a shitty move to tell you. Like,
and, like, if, like, a big competition's coming up, he's like, hey, like, I'm going to be there. And if I see you, I'm not talking to you. And I'm like, good.
Very strange. Very odd.
It's very.
I follow some of these, like, Facebook jiu-jitsu women's groups and just, like, both gender groups, and I've seen a lot of women, even wives, like going through divorces, or not even going through a divorce. Their husbands are just like, I don't want you to be at the gym where I'm at, and like wants them to find a new gym. It's like so shitty because as a woman, you know, like it's hard to find a gym you're comfortable at.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to find a solid group of girls. It's hard to find a solid group of guys. So once you have your little community, like it's not easy to tell someone like, oh, go start over.
Yeah.
It's like starting in a new high school in the middle of like senior year. You're
exactly.
like, well, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's tough. Now you and your boyfriend now, obviously you guys are strong, but have you ever had conversations about like if something were to happen?
Not really, just because we're not at the same gym. So it's like if we did break up, it would be like he can't tell me not to train because we're not at the same gym.
Right.
But there's definitely been conversations about like, you know, like training partners and like because he lives almost an hour and a half away. Right. So it's like these are my people. He knows all the people.
Yeah.
Since he used to live by me, so he knows some of the guys. His brother trains at my gym too, so it's like we're all really close. So there's really no issue.
No big deal. Yeah. Do you have any advice, like, for maybe a younger woman coming in that's, like, wants to date someone at the gym? Any advice to prevent this kind of crap from happening?
Let's see. Don't date purple belts. But really, like, have the conversation. Let your coaches know, too. Like, hey, like, we are a thing. But, like, if anything happens, like, I want it to still be a safe space for me.
Right.
That was, like, the one thing at my first gym. My coach, like, the professor didn't know, and we, like, tried to talk it out, but it just, like, wasn't happening.
Huh. So after you and your boyfriend at the time broke up, you talked to your coach.
Yeah. Try to see, like, if there was, like, a middle ground, like,
there wasn't?
Different schedules. He was just
not helpful. Was he on a side?
Oh, definitely.
He was on the guys side.
Yeah.
Oh, so what was he saying to you? Was he also telling you, like, oh, just leave? Or what was he saying?
It was, like, a mix of both. It was, like, hey, like, maybe try to find another one. Like, obviously, if this isn't... And
weird.
Like I said, he was, like, one of the coaches.
Yeah.
And, like, he helped a lot with the kids' classes and the advanced class. So
and
I
get that, but you should be able to coexist.
Exactly.
Like, unless, like, something horrific happened, I can understand. But, like, if it's just, I don't want to be with this person anymore... Yeah. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous to have to, like, uproot. It was
very petty, but, like, it is what it is.
Did you have any support system at the time? Like, anybody at the gym that was, like, on your side?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I was just, like, talking to, like, some of the other coaches, like, hey, like, am I in the wrong here? Yeah. And they're like, no. They're
like, you're being punished for, like, not wanting to be with this person forever.
Yeah.
Like, that's what dating's about. Like,
exactly.
You date, and then you're, like, either going to be with them or it's not your cup of tea.
Yep.
You should be able to just go your separate ways.
Exactly.
That's so lame. Yeah. I myself have heard horrible dating stories about the jiu-jitsu world, and some are great. Like, some people find the love of their life.
I know.
So happy for you. But I've been so scared to even, like, ever date within the jiu-jitsu community because I've heard horrible endings, and I love my space. It's like my happy place, and I don't ever want it to be disrupted. So I feel for you. That's a shame, but happy ending.
Yes, happy ending. Everything's good.
Yeah. So maybe dating advice: date someone from a different gym.
Yes.
You can date a jiu-jitsu boy or girl, but maybe not at your gym if you can help it.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And like things happen. Like
there's exceptions, of course.
Yeah.
But try to like choose carefully.
Definitely
Don't choose the person that's going to kick you out of your gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so freaking shitty. So now fast forward, you joined your new gym.
Yes.
On Valentine's Day, which I love, or the day after Valentine's Day.
That was at Strive when I went there.
Yeah.
And they're really fantastic there. Absolutely fantastic.
Do you ever drop back in?
I try to. I see them a lot at competitions. Nice. One of the wrestling coaches there, he'll always find me at a competition and be like, hey, like, go do it.
Who are you talking about? I might know.
His name is Mike. I'm not sure his last name. He's like this bald man.
Oh, okay. I know a couple of guys over at Strive because one of my close friends started at Strive and now goes to Web. And actually Daishi, who coaches at Freedom, started at Strive as well.
Oh, awesome.
So it's all like intermingled around here.
It's so weird. Like Jersey is such like everyone
intertwined.
at someone.
Yeah, that's why the dating makes it harder because everybody knows everybody who knows freaking everybody. Everyone's business is out there.
Yes.
So once you got back into jiu-jitsu, were you just still doing it like casually? Were you trying to be a competitor? Like how much was your involvement?
So when I was at Strive, I was just doing it like as a hobby. Like it was like after work, I would just like drive straight there, train for like 2 or 3 hours, go home and repeat. Wasn't really looking to compete. And then, it was just hobby.
So still now, are you still kind of more of a hobbyist, would you say?
I think I'm getting more into competitions.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, the super fight.
Yeah, like I said, like I've done 3 in the last 2 months of being like at Place of Peace.
That's awesome.
They're very like competition driven. They produce like awesome competitors. So I'm in there now.
Yeah. Are you a blue belt right now?
I am. I have 2 stripes on my blue.
I was gonna say you're probably like getting close to the point. You're probably getting to the point where you feel like a really good blue belt, and then like all of a sudden, they're gonna switch it up on you. It's like, dang.
I'm like, I got this. Like I know jujitsu, and then the next day I'm like, I don't know anything.
Then you get a girl shaking your arm or whatever. Where they're like, I can't wait to see that. That's absolutely insane. I've never even heard of that, but that sounds
wild.
Very scary. Yeah. Have you done any of the bigger competitions like ADCC or anything like that?
Nope.
Are you interested?
I am. Yeah. But like I need to get all my nerves out first at like the Nagas and what was the other one
Grappling
I did?
Industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's one coming up next weekend. Are you doing it?
Probably not.
I was going to, but I'm injured right now. But Grappling Industries is actually a pretty good one for girls. I feel like more women seem to show up to Grappling Industries than like some of these other events. So now are you involved in your current gym? Like, do you help them coach or anything or just?
Yeah, I do help with the kids classes sometimes. Nice. My job right now is like super demanding. So I'm like, I'll try to get there.
Yeah. What do you do full time?
So I'm a director at a school,
nice.
Like for little kids.
Oh,
so
cool.
That's my job.
Is that what you went to? You said you went to Rowan?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I went to Rowan. I got my psych degree.
Nice.
And found out you can't get a job in psych unless you have like a master's. So
yeah, or even a doctorate sometimes.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe I'll go back to school. I've been teaching like for years, and then I kind of just moved into like the director position.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. But I'm assuming that's like 5 days a week, like 9 to 5 kind of ordeal.
I work 7 to 4:30 ish.
Okay, yeah, so you're pretty busy, and then from there you go
straight
right
to
over
the gym.
there, and then you help. Oh my god, that's my life too. Right now, it's very very busy. And then obviously it seems like you're very much involved with like women's jiu-jitsu, like you go to these women events.
Yes.
It sounds like that's somewhat important to you to like, I don't want to say give back, but like to be involved with like women's
definitely.
jiu-jitsu. Yeah. How has your experience been as a woman in jiu-jitsu? Other than the boyfriend thing.
Besides the boyfriend thing. Sorry. It's been really good. Like
that's good.
Like I love helping other women, like because I've been the only girl at a gym before.
Well, you know how it feels.
Oh, yeah. Like, even at my gym now, I'm, like, the only girl.
Oh, really? Like, the only girl?
Yeah. I think I'm the only girl that, like, pays, like, a consistent membership there.
Wow, yeah. I mean, do you ever have, like, I know a lot of people cross-train there.
Yeah.
So here and there, I'm sure you get, like, random women dropping in.
Yeah.
But, like, there's no members. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
So you're mainly training with men?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Wow. So do you ever like cross train to go find women?
I try to. Like I said, my schedule is just so busy that like it's really hard for me to like drop in other places.
That's tough.
609 has like a great open mat that a whole bunch of women go to. So I'm like, this is where I find like a whole bunch of people.
Were you around when we were doing Illuminati there?
I wasn't. No.
Oh, dang. I was gonna say there was a lot of women those nights. I know it's probably far from you, but if you can ever make it to Illuminati at Web, on Monday and Wednesday nights, there's a lot of women for you to train with, like a lot. But so you train with all men, so it doesn't sound like you've had many issues. Like you've had really good training partners. They've all been pretty respectful and everything.
100%.
That's nice.
Yeah, and like a lot of the guys there, like I said, they are competitors. Yeah. So like I get the really good roles. Yeah. But we also have like hobbyists there who are just like there for fun. We have we have a guy who's like, he's probably like in his like mid 60s, and he's like the dad of the group, and like he does it for fun. But, like, he's also a great training partner. Right. So, it's, like, a whole range.
Well, I feel like that probably prepares you, because if you can roll with these, like, heavy, strong men, then when you're, like, competing, like, you're used to the weight and you're used to the strength, I imagine,
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say women move differently.
Oh, like, yeah.
And sometimes, I'm going to get hate for this, but I feel like we tend to be a little bit more technical because we can't rely on our strength. Yep. So I'm sure when you compete against women, it probably is still different, right?
It's so different. Like, I say it all the time. I'm like, I just wish there was, like, at least one girl at my gym so I could be like, all right, this is how another girl moves. Right. But I make it work.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. And I think, like, the more you compete, the more exposure you'll get to these women. Like, kind of double-edged sword that, like, you have to wait till you're, like, competing. Yeah. But, like, that is where you're gonna, like, figure it out.
Oh, yeah, like, 100%.
You know? So what's your next thing coming up?
So I have surgery next month.
Oh no!
I'm getting my tonsils out.
Oh, okay.
So like it's nothing like super crazy. Yeah. So like still. I'm on like a jiu-jitsu break right now. Okay. So I'm like, maybe I won't go back until after my surgery. Yeah. I just can't wait to breathe. Like, like if I sound sick, I'm not.
You need your tonsils
my sinuses.
Taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when I was, because you're in your early 20s, I think.
I'm 24.
Yeah. When I was in college, so I was probably actually a little bit younger than you, I had to get my adenoids taken out, a deviated septum, and I sounded exactly like you. I still have a raspy voice, but I always sounded congested. Yeah. It does feel amazing.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
But like it sucks because I never had my tonsils taken out. But anything with the throat, nose, like I feel like it does take a little bit to recover. Yeah. Like you're probably gonna need some time.
I know.
Did they tell you how long?
So they said I'm gonna be out of work for a month.
Oh wow! I did not think that long. Yeah. Jesus.
I know. It's because it's like I'm old. So they were like, usually kids get them out and they like bounce back in like a week, but they were like, nope, you're out a month. And all I do is sit at a desk all day. So I'm like, great.
So that's like what, short-term disability or something? Yeah. You have to take? Oh my God, for tonsils? For tonsils? I thought you were going to say like 2 days.
No,
like,
I wish.
I didn't think it was like that intense of a surgery. Yeah. But I guess the recovery,
Yeah, and like I guess older people have like a higher chance of like bleeding more. Oh. So they're like, yeah, just don't do anything.
So you said it's next week?
It's next month. So what is it?
November.
October 22nd.
Okay, well at least you'll be like good by Christmas time.
By Christmas, yeah, I'll be back.
And Thanksgiving. I hope you can like have a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
Actually, I got my deviated septum. Oh no, it wasn't that. You know what it was? It was my wisdom teeth. I got my wisdom teeth taken out the week before Thanksgiving, so I couldn't eat Thanksgiving.
I was very
depressed. I was like, this is bullshit. Like any other time in the whole year, Thanksgiving. I mean, I think I could have like mashed potatoes, but I couldn't have like turkey or like any of the good shit. Have you ever had to get your wisdom teeth taken out?
No, thank God.
Don't do it. I mean, I haven't had many surgeries, so granted, like my threshold for pain is probably low, but it was the worst thing.
I'm like nervous, but like I said, like I can't wait to breathe and like wear a mouth guard and be able to like breathe out of like my nose and stuff. Like I'm so excited.
That's a good point. Like in jiu-jitsu, like you're biting on a mouth guard, so you're like dependent on your nose. Yeah, you're like suffocating. All of a sudden you're like, oh, it's a lot easier when I have air flowing through my body, and oxygen.
Like I have to wear a mouth guard. Like I had a tooth knocked out in jiu-jitsu.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like a spazzy white belt, like knee right to the mouth, and I was like,
were you not wearing a mouth guard?
No.
Oh no.
I was like, I think I was like a 4-stripe white belt, and I was like invincible at the time. And then it came like it.
Was it a front tooth?
It's like a side tooth, and
just came right out.
Yeah, literally, like it was like pop right here, and it was like, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, mouth guard is necessary now.
Yeah, I have a close friend that got kneed and her tooth chipped, and she has like such pretty teeth, and I was like, girl. Because I'm a fanatic about my mouth guard. Like, I have to have a mouth guard in because if I lose a tooth, like, everybody in the room's dying. But, I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah.
It's funny. Someone I know who doesn't do jiu-jitsu just asked me the other day. They're like, do people get injured in jiu-jitsu? No, right? I was like, oh. We get injured.
That's kind of like the whole point.
Right. You're like, well, you tap before. I'm like, but accidents happen. Because, like, in his mind, he's like, you would just tap before you get, like, kneed in the face. I'm like, yeah, but, like, nobody's kneeing you in the face on purpose. But, like, spazzy. We had somebody at our gym, a spazzy white belt, elbowed him, and he got like 4 stitches in his head.
Gosh.
Like just like profusely bleeding all over the mats. Like things, it's always a white belt.
Always. It always is.
And like, listen, I was not a white belt, too long ago. Like I remember those days, but like it always, like when people are new and they're like, oh, I'm afraid to go with like an upper belt, they're so intimidating. I'm like, no, you should be scared of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, just walk through the door, because he's gonna probably like windmill kick you in the face.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, do you have any girlfriends that have gone through anything similar to you as far as like dating or anything like that?
Not really. Like, they're all very lucky.
Yeah, seriously.
So like I tell my horror stories, they're like, oh,
so they're
my God. Yeah, they're like never happening.
Jeez.
I do have one friend who brought her girlfriend in, so like they train together, but like I'm like, that's so lucky. Like, you have another girl going with you.
Oh, that's
like,
a good point. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So it's not like you're bringing like your boyfriend in and you're like getting whooped by your boyfriend.
Yeah, no, that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Is that the story with your ex? Is that pretty much the only negative, I guess, thing?
Yeah.
So that's actually
it's really not that bad.
If that's the worst thing that happens to you, you actually made it out.
I know, right?
Pretty unscathed, because I've heard a lot worse stories.
Yeah,
so not too bad.
Yeah, not
actually.
at all.
And that coach, whoever it is, that's kind of rude that he didn't like back you up.
Yeah.
I feel like a big part of being a coach is like protecting your people.
Yeah, especially like he was like the owner of the gym too. So
shitty.
it's like
and especially like women, because it's already hard. Like, we're in a male dominated environment. It's already hard enough.
Yeah.
So like, I will say, I feel like we have the opposite. Like I feel like our gym owners around here do tend to like speak up for women for the most part. So it's not all bad. If you're listening and you want to get into jiu-jitsu, I would say most of the time that's not what it is. Like, most of the time you are well protected.
Yes, 100%.
There's always those freaking outliers that ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, but I always say, like, you can always tell within like the first like week of like training somewhere, like if it's a good place for honestly. A woman.
Yeah. What is that? I was the ice cream man. I'm like, what is that? It's fall. It's time to go. Yeah. So when you joined, did you feel like that early on when you were with your boyfriend at the time?
No. Like I said, like my first class, there was like five girls there. And
so
I was
you were kind of tricked.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to them?
I don't know.
Were they like placed there?
They literally like
they were
vanished.
Planted. They were like, invite the 5 girls so she won't quit.
Yeah.
That's so odd that they like, you never heard of them ever again?
Like, so out of the 5, I think like 2 of them like kind of like stopped in every like once in a while, but like the other 3 like literally vanished. Like sometimes I have to like, I'm like, was I like imagining them or they were there, I think.
So what do you think like made you want to stick with jiu-jitsu? Like, what kept you coming back after all this?
I think so. I'm a very competitive person. And I have 2 brothers. I'm the only girl. Yeah. So I'm like, I need something that I could just like get into and like stick with. I did competitive cheerleading for literally 18 years of my life. Cool. So I was like, I need something that's, 1, going to keep me active, and 2, like, give me, like, that competitive, like, taste again. So.
Did you cheer at Rowan?
I did.
Oh, no way. Cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What year were you there then?
So I graduated in 2022.
So like 19 to 22-ish?
Yeah, because I went to a community college at first, and then I did like the 3+1, so I transferred.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So then, besides the competitive edge, was it also, I assume, like the community, like you found like a gym that made you feel like
it definitely,
positive about coming back? So now, if there's a woman listening who wants to get into jiu-jitsu, like what advice do you give? Like, what should they be looking for to know that they're in a good environment?
I always say look at the locker rooms. Okay. Like that is like that's like the number one thing. Like if you have a back corner that's like a little like towel that's just like hung up, like
maybe not.
Yeah. And kind of see how like I always look at like the size of the classes. I know it always varies, but if you're going in and like there's only like 4 guys like just training every day, and like the next day there's like no one there, I was always like like why aren't people coming back?
That's true.
And kind of just like how the owners like handling everything. I always say like if I'm looking for a gym, I always do at least like 3 days of like just trying it to see if I like it,
like 3 consecutive days.
But if like a gym owner is like you need to sign up today. I'm like,
that's run. A little bit of a red flag.
Like, literally run.
Yeah, because it's like, why would, like, if you're confident in your gym, like, you should feel like they're gonna sign up.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah. So, like, give it some time, feel it out.
Yep.
Yeah, if there's, like, no one showing up, there's probably a reason. Yep. And, yeah, I do think it trickles down from the top. So I feel like if you're getting bad vibes from the top, then it's probably bad all around.
Yeah.
Like, cancer spreads.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, that's actually really good advice.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Are there any women, I'm going to keep the topic of women for now.
Yes.
Any women in jiu-jitsu that, like, you look up to specifically?
Let's see. I look up to Fionn. I love her. Like, fellow Swiftie, absolutely love.
Did you listen to her episode?
I did.
Okay.
Of course I did.
She's so funny.
She is.
She's a good personality.
Let's see. Cindy.
Yes. She's great.
I trained with her like a few times,
nice.
And literally I'm like on the verge of dying. She's like, you got this, keep going. And I'm like, oh, so nice. Let's see. I met Amanda Mazza, yes, a few times, like, at competitions, and I'm like, oh my god, like, she's a beast.
She's a little beast.
She is.
And it's funny because, like, all these girls you're mentioning, like, they're not, like, some of them aren't the biggest girls. Some of them have full-time jobs. Like, it's interesting, like, how different all their backgrounds. So you got Cindy, who, like, works full-time as, like, a freaking chemist.
I know.
You know? And then you got, like, Fionn, who's, like, has a judo background. Yes. And then you got Mazza, who, like, her story's crazy. Like, she used to be a cop, and she weighs, like, 110 pounds soaking wet. Like, they're all so different, but they're all, like, such badasses in their own way, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like we actually we're blessed to have, like, a lot of, like, women to, like, look up to in this area. Like, it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, I know. And, like, the fact that, like, I ran into Cindy, like, randomly, like, it was, like, my first, like, week at Place of Peace. And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, people like you exist. Like, not only are you nice, but, like, you're a great training partner, too. Yeah. Like, I was so intimidated at first. And she was like, get over here. I was like, okay.
And Cindy's so humble. Like, you wouldn't even know that she's as involved because and not that this matters if you do post, but, like, she doesn't even post about it. Like, you have no idea that she's, like, as successful because she really is humble. Like, she is not somebody that's going to, like, show off her accomplishments. Yeah. She just, like, hustles in silence. I know. It's then crazy. All of a sudden you're like, wait, you're on the Invitational? Like, I know. You haven't even posted like a month. Like, but I love that about her. Yeah. She really just does it because she loves it. She doesn't need the fame. Yeah. But it's coming anyway.
Yes, I know.
She's getting up there.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah. All right. So how about we'll allow the men. I'm just kidding. But how about any men in jiu-jitsu? It could be local or famous that, like, you've been kind of following.
So I really look up to my two coaches, Craig and Des. Yeah, they are literally, like, the best people ever. Like, just, like, talking to, and, like, the way, like, their technique is, it's, like, absolutely wild.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't really follow a lot of jiu-jitsu guys.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right?
I usually just, like, keep it with, like, the women, and I'm like, of course. All these badass women, like, you got this.
Oh, it's nice though that like they support you so much. Yeah. Have you ever considered, like, asking them to do, like, an open mat there so you can get some women in the doors?
I have. I mentioned it a few times, but like I said, they're so busy. Yeah. And, like, our gym schedule is, like, all over the place sometimes, so it's really hard to, like, find a day that, like, works.
Yeah, no, that is the hardest part. It's just, like, super busy. But for now, you could just come meet us at Web.
Yes.
And, I mean, people come from all over to go there, and the gym's so big that it's, like, a pretty good, like, central location. Yes, You're not too far from there, right?
No, I'm, like
30 minutes?
35 minutes, it's not that far.
And we have one coming up in, like, a couple weeks, I think.
Oh, really?
I think it's next weekend.
Oh, I'll look into it.
I'll check after. I'll let you know. I think it's literally next Sunday.
Oh.
If not the following Sunday, but it's definitely October.
Okay.
So you'll have to come.
Yes.
Was there anything else you wanted me to bring up? Anything interesting that's been going on?
Let's see. I don't think so.
How about clothing as a woman? Any advice or stuff that you love that you want to, like, talk about?
Yeah. So I am a part of the lanky group. I am
the tall. Lanky women's group.
Yes, I'm very tall. I'm 5'9". But I'm not, like, heavy built. Like, right. I don't have a lot of muscle. I'm, like, built like a string bean. So finding, like, shorts that, like, don't go all the way up, like, my butt. Right. So, like, finding, like, good jiu-jitsu shorts that, like, stop at my knees. I'm like, I love Spanx that go down. Yeah. Place of Peace, I have almost every single rash guard and, like, shorts because they are technically unisex, but they have, like, like the strings that like pull, and
so you can adjust it.
Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah.
And like rash guards, same thing. Like I need something that goes all the way down my torso without being like a crop top.
Right.
So the unisex is like
it's easy working for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you tried any other clothing brands that work for you, or is that mostly what you wear?
Let's see. So I make a lot of like my stuff too. Like I made my
You made that?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Do you have like a company, or do you sell it?
I just do it like
just
for
yourself?
fun. Yeah. Nice. So like if I find like a dry fit shirt like at Dick's Sporting Goods that's like kind of rash guard material, I'll like throw something on it and just like
what do you use, like a cricket?
Yeah.
Oh nice. That's all, my sister has one. I always have her make me stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start being like, make me a rash guard girl.
Yes.
That's smart though. You should consider an Etsy eventually.
I always thought about it. I'm like I'm just not consistent with it. I'll be like, oh, I'll make it. And then, like, forget about it.
Do you make it for, like, friends and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Place of Peace has that cool, what is it, like the Rugrats 90s?
Yes. They have, like, the funkiest things.
They have cool
like,
stuff.
My favorite rash guard is, like, the girl doing acid.
I've never seen that
with,
one.
like, the Place of Peace logo on, like, the acid tab. And I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, who designs that? Is it them?
I think it's them. I'm not exactly too sure. But if you go on their website, they're all there. Like the Pink Panther set, like it's cool. Like bright pink and like
they have cool designs.
Yeah, and a lot of my training, like my one training partner Vez, he's like 6'4", like and he comes in like the hot pink rash guard and like shorts, and I'm like, this is fun. Pink. Yes.
Does Place of Peace have any events coming up? I know they just had the one.
So I think they're having another invitational 9 in December, I want to say. So fingers crossed that I'm back. And
how do you get, I mean, you are a member, so do you just tell them? Do they have like, you have to request it?
They'll ask like, hey, do you want to be on the card? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. But I know they were like posted something on Instagram, like if you want to, if you want to do it, like DM us, we'll see if we can like match you up with someone.
Did they do that recently for the December one?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that's how they do it. They just kind of like play matchmaker.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Was it hard to find a girl you're like, because you're tall, or was it easy?
So it's funny. So I had an original like matchup with a girl named Willow. Willow's fantastic.
Oh, I know Willow.
Yeah, she's great. And then randomly I went onto the page and like my card was like deleted, and I was like, so I like DM'd Des, and I was like, did I get boot? Like, did I get the boot? And he was like, no, I'll explain later. And I'm like, okay, weird. It turns out Willow was about to start training like at my gym, and they were like, we don't want you guys going awkward. Against each other.
That makes sense.
So then they found me, my new partner, who I went with, Rachel, and
Did Willow compete after
she
all?
did.
They found her new partner? Okay,
yes,
because I didn't get to watch that one.
Yeah.
Nice. So now is she at your gym?
So she was for a little bit, and then
she moved back. Yeah. I forgot. She's by us now, I think. Didn't she move to like...
She moved here, and then I think something happened. She had to move back home, and so I'm like, no. I was like, I was this close to having a training partner.
And she would have been good for you.
I know.
Well, you would have been good for each other.
Yeah. Like, I'm taller than her, but like we're like the same weight and like the same belt. So I was like, this is perfect.
Yes. Dang it.
I know.
I was just going to say, like, oh, that's like the perfect thing ever. Because I know she was dropping into web quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think she's like friendly with Amanda Mazes.
Yeah.
She was bringing her.
Yeah.
Oh man, we gotta get you some women. Maybe somebody will hear this and will join. Please join Place of Peace. Please give Mickayla a partner. I mean, I know you have plenty of great like male partners, but it is completely different when you're like preparing for a match against a woman than a man.
And my downside with competing is like I befriend everyone. Like so like I'm like we're like in like the bullpen, and we're like waiting to go onto the mat, and I'm like, hey girl.
I know. And then you're like and then you don't want to like be mean.
Yeah. And my coaches are like, you're not here to make friends, and I'm like, but I am.
Every single girl, well, not every, but like I would say like 90% of the girls I compete against, I'm like, we follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like there's not many of us.
No, not at all.
One girl I went against at Grappling Industries 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
It was just me and her in the entire place.
Yeah. It's
like we did 3 divisions together. Yeah. I'm like, we went against each other 5 times. Like we're basically teammates at this freaking point. Like Jesus.
It's so the girl I was going against at Naga, she was actually the one who invited me to the women's open match. She was like, hey, like I'm going if you want to go too. And then
wait, who is this?
What is her name?
Is it Paulina?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Because I feel like you guys would be the same weight class.
cannot remember her name.
Oh, it's okay. But I was like, I wonder if I know her, but I probably don't.
Amber. That's her name.
Okay,
Amber.
I don't know her. But that's so nice. Like, it's nice when, like, did you come? I just thought about this. Did you come to the Fiat seminar? You weren't there, were you? Okay.
I wasn't.
Yeah, dang it. That would have been fun if you would have been able to come. But it was like, we threw it together so last minute. Because she was coming to town for the podcast. Yeah. So I was like, come on over. Let's do it all, girl. And now she's, she moved back to Wales now. Yeah. So sad.
I think she just had a seminar this weekend, wherever it was. It looked beautiful wherever it was.
She's all over the place. Well, I think she's actually, isn't she in Spain with Danielle Kelly, I think, right now?
Yes, that's where it was.
Yeah, I think they're in Ibiza. Yeah, just living their best life. Crazy. Must be nice. No.
I know, right?
No, I love that for them. They deserve it.
They do.
Work their little butts off. But, okay, I want to ask you a couple more things. So what about, since I don't get, many women jiu-jitsu advice, so what about hair advice? Did you figure out the best way to not get your hair ripped out? We all want to know.
I wish I found a good technique for it. My hair can be like crazy. Like I have like curls and like the back of my hair is probably like this big
from getting ripped out.
So my mom's a hairdresser, so like before my competition she'll like braid my hair back. Nice. But like I can't braid to save my life. At the Invitational, I just threw it in like a bun, and I was like hoping for the best.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I've seen so many girls have to like pause and like fix it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the worst.
And like my hair's short in the front too, so it's like in my face, and I'm like.
It's all right. That's what it is. I mean, a lot of girls get like the undercuts.
I know. Yeah, that? I couldn't rock that.
I don't think I could either.
But like, if you can, like,
good for you. Yeah. Bless up. Yeah. No, I've definitely seen like competitions where girls have to like stop like constantly to like fix their hair. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I kind of just let it rock in competition. Like in class though, since I am the only girl, I'm like, hold on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to wait.
Let me tie my hair up.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're like the girl, like, how like families will have all boys and they have the girl. Yeah. So are they like protective of you a little bit?
Yes, but I also feel like I'm the mom of the group. Like I am the youngest, but I am the mom. When we went to our last competition that we had, it was the New Jersey Open in Trenton, and I was like, all right, like, here are my rule sets here. And then everyone was like, can you find out what my time is? And like the rule set for it. And I'm like, great. I'm like, yeah, let me just like type it in. And I'm like, all right, no problem. You go at this time. You're on mat 3. You're at this time. You're at mat 4. And I'm like, I'm literally your mother.
Right. Oh my God. You're like, you guys have the exact same phone that I have.
Yes.
Like, you can do it your damn self.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you to help them out.
They'd be lost without me, I swear.
Seriously. Yeah. You're like, can I train for free? Because I'm basically parenting all of you. That's so freaking funny. I'm trying to think if there's anything else women-wise. I mean, honestly, you've had great experiences, so there's nothing like crazy to talk
I really
about.
can't complain.
That's good, though. Like, I'd rather hear that than you tell me that, like, a traumatic
horror story.
Because I've heard, like, a couple, not too many, actually, but I've heard a couple where I'm like, oh my God, Jesus.
It's terrifying.
Anything else going on? Anything we should know about?
Let's see.
Any aspirations?
Not really.
Nothing.
Like,
do you think you would ever like open a gym one day?
Me and my boyfriend talk about it sometimes, but I'm like, cause he's a 4-stripe purple. And
right.
Like,
so he's on his way.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, as soon as you get your black belt, I was like, we're doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, you could do it before. I mean, like Jeremy has at my gym has his brown belt. I mean,
I think we both came from very traditional gyms where it's like gotta be a black belt to open a gym.
I get that.
But I think it would be fun, but who knows?
Yeah, it would also be a lot of work.
Oh,
I'm sure you've seen it. Like, it's
and he lives like all the way down by he lives in Brigantine, which is right outside AC. Yeah. So I'm like, a gym there would be like.
Oh my god, yeah. So my grandparents have a house in Brigantine. So if you guys open a gym in Brigantine, you will make my life because there's nothing down there.
There's nothing.
I mean,
there's like one gym.
Yeah, I think the closest would be like South Jersey now has their Ocean City gym, which is like
and
cool.
like 609 is like maybe like 30 minutes outside.
Yeah, but
like,
there's one on Brigantine.
That'd be sick.
Because I think people would come from like Atlantic City too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And like all those surrounding like small towns. Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Right?
Please do that. You're a couple of years away, but that'd be great.
I know.
I'm all for that.
It's like a dream.
Yeah, to be able to like, because I like that South Jersey's doing like where you can like go on the beach and then go train or vice versa. I like that that business model. Mm-hmm. I think that's what people want to do. They want to like get a hard sweat and then go to the ocean. Like that sounds amazing.
I know.
Yeah. Any other products or anything you want to call out that like you have just been like really working for you? Like jiu-jitsu wise?
Let's see. Not really. Like, I literally go in, like...
You kind of just wear the same stuff.
Yeah. Like,
you're not one of those, like, divas that has, like, their brands or anything.
No.
You're like, whatever I have works for me.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah,
you're lucky if I come in, like spandex and, like, a t-shirt sometimes. Like, I'm like, you're lucky I'm here.
Are you a shorts girl or a spats girl?
So I do the spats and then shorts on top because my biggest fear is flashing someone at the gym.
God, I know. It's the worst.
And, like, if, like, my shirt, like, rolls, like... I'm like double sports broad up, like
you are the only girl in the entire gym, so I could see
like,
you're
gotta be really careful.
Yeah,
especially
no,
like
same way.
north south. I'm in north south a lot,
yeah,
and I'm like I don't need to flash anyone.
Ever since I started wearing shorts, I'm like I'm never going back.
Yeah,
you just feel like more locked in because like some of the newer girls are like, why do people wear shorts? And honestly, I didn't know for a while, but one, it keeps you tucked in, like nothing's falling out, and two, I feel like your spats could roll down, like people are pulling on you a lot of the times. I'm like, if you pull my shorts down, like at least you got spats on.
Exactly.
Like I'm
and
good.
Like I'm not like a leggings girl. Like there's like fabric like sticking to me. I'm like, get it off. Especially like we sweat like motherfuckers in place of peace. Like they condition us like to no end.
Oh my god, that basement is hot.
And they don't believe in AC.
No, I know. Honestly, I kind of miss it sometimes because that's where Illuminati was, and there'd be like 20 of us down there, and it would be like steamy. Yeah. Does it get like that when you're there?
It gets steamy. Like it'll get steamy with like 6 of us down there. Yeah. And like my one training partner, like he like makes snail trails all over the mat. And, like, if he sits, it's, like, a lake that surrounds him.
That was when like, Daishi... Do you know what I'm talking about when I say Daishi? Do you know when he sweats a lot. Yeah. And, like, he one time would stand up, and it would be, like, a puddle. Yes. Like, literally a moat. And I'm like... How? But honestly, I kind of miss it because I do like hot yoga and I felt like it was like hot jujitsu. Yeah. Like it was awful. You couldn't breathe, but I felt like it conditioned us. And it's like you said, it's like if you can train in that condition, then like anywhere should feel like a breeze. Yeah. It was just a really far location for a lot of us. Like Webb is like so centrally located. But I probably trained there for like 2 or 3 months before they switched to Webb. And the first time I thought I was going to pass out. Yeah. I literally thought I was going to throw up and pass out. I think I left the first class for 2 minutes to like breathe. Like I walked outside and then came back. Yeah. I'm always like off the mat. I'm like, hold on. It's crazy. But then I got used to it. And it reminds me of hot yoga. Like you start getting used to it. And then when you train in a regular environment, you're like, oh, this is a breeze. Yeah, like that's a breeze. I feel like with competitions, like my coaches will always ask, like after comps, like, how did you feel? Like, were you winded? And I'm like, no, I wasn't winded. Right, like And they're like, yeah, because like we're literally like working you guys so much like in the gym that when you go out, like it really should feel like nothing. Yeah, it's like when people wear like those. Have you ever seen those guys wear like the mask when they're like doing cardio? They wear like those. Yes, to make breathing harder. Yeah. It's like that's what you're doing basically. You're like. Yeah, and we don't have like a clock at the gym either for like our rounds. So like we could be going for like 15-20 minutes and just one they don't tell you? No. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
so like they just say go.
Go
and
until, you have no idea. Yeah, go until you like can't go anymore, and then we're all sitting there. We're like, how long has it been?
So your cardio's on point then. I mean, I bet it's a lot better than you think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, a lot better than like other people's.
Yeah, just wait until I could breathe. It's gonna be game over.
Seriously, like that's a good point. Like you're struggling as is, and then there's no oxygen in that. I know how bad it is because I've been there. But I kind of did like it because I felt like such a badass afterwards. I was like, damn, like I just like basically worked out in a sauna for like an hour or hour and a half. Jeez, well that's crazy. All right, so anything else? I mean, that's really all I had.
I'm good.
You sure? No, thank you. That was awesome. Thank you. I feel like this will be a good episode. Like if any women are like interested in what jujitsu like to expect as a woman in jiu-jitsu, and I think it's like a good powerful message, like you said, like just because you went through a breakup, do not give up on something that you love. Find a gym. There's a million gyms, especially on the East Coast. There will be one. Do not let a man or anybody for that matter dictate your hobbies and aspirations, right? Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. So fun. Oh my god, this is awesome.